let's begin with it. The LO3 states can select and plan the market research. Now, it is quite easy to work on the plans and research, but to select the correct one, the correct strategy, that is what necessary and important is as well. So we have to go with that. Now we have to select that is shows the right research topic and approach that matches the business problem or goal. Obviously, when you know the problem, only then you are going to select the topic accordingly and work on it. Plan, create a step-by-step strategy for how one will carry out that research. Research cannot be done anonymously or just randomly. You need to prepare a plan first and then we can resume it. It's not just about writing what one will research, but also how, when, and why you will do each step. So every step, every process, procedure has a condition and a question that how, when, and why you are doing it. The first point is selecting the market research. That is understanding the business need, the requirement. For example, Virtu wants its an SME to know if small, affordable electric vehicles would sell well in Saudi Arabia. They are doing a survey to know whether it's going to be a good option or not. Then chose the right market research focus. That means focus on urban middle income buyers, for example, age 25 to 45 in Riyadh and Jeddah. Here, what I wanted to demonstrate it to you people that first I have selected an organization, then I have talked about the problem on which I want to research, that is affordable EV cars, which are going to be in Saudi, and it is going to be specifically for the buyers who have middle income. They're not going to be that much so-called rich, but normal people, age 25 to 45, and I targeted the cities as well. Then decide on research type. When you want to go for the field, primary, secondary, which sort of that. If it's a primary, you want to go for the surveys, interviews, focus groups, or if it's the secondary, then we are going to work with the reports, governmental evaluation adoption list, or the stats. Planning the market research now. Planning the market research, define your objectives, that is clear goals for your research. For example, measure the consumer awareness for the EV, electric vehicle charging points. Electric vehicle cars, you already know that they cannot be run on the petrol. We have to build up the stations for it, just to charge up when if the battery goes down. So we have to select the points first. Again, it's a big expenditure and the research. Then choose methods, decide that is if you will be doing the surveys, interviews, observation, desk research, or a mix. Rather than going for primary or secondary, you can do both together. Identify the resources, what you need, the software, online tools, databases, contacts, because if you're going for the softwares are quite expensive. You have to run big Excel sheets on them. Set a time frame line when each stage will be completed. Maximum the research takes 6 months to 1 year. But if it's on the organizational basis, then we can go for like more than a year too, because we have to set a conclusion. Only then the steps can be taken further. Then plan analysis, how you will turn the collected data into useful insight. Now the research you're doing, whether it's primary, secondary, how it will be helpful in the solution. Then selecting and planning for the Virtu electric vehicle research. Selection. This is how we start the topic. It is consumer attitude towards affordable EVs in Saudi Arabia. The type is mixed method research. I'm using both primary as well and secondary as well. Secondary for the reports and primary for the survey. Target, I am targeting 25 to 45 aged middle income urban residents. My plan is within 1 to 2 weeks, all 6 weeks plan, by the way. In the first 2 weeks, I'm going to work on the secondary data from Munchiat Statistics, Ministry of Transport reports. People must be aware of it. All the SMEs are listed at the Munchiat and at the stock exchange as well, the Vadul. Then within 2 and 3rd week, we are going to work on the creation and the distribution of the Google Form survey to 100 respondents in Riyadh and Jeddah to know about the charging points of the EV car. Week 4, conduct 5 interviews with SME fleet managers, that is the frontline managers. Week 5, analyze the results using the Excel charts and compare with the competitor offerings. What best offer is for you? You are going to offer that. Then we have week 6, compile the final market research report with the recommendation. That is what is the final conclusion finally. So that is what we're going to work in complete LO3 and specifically task 2. A small research will be conducted from your side. Keeping in mind, our domain is the SME, small medium enterprise. It is assessment criteria 3.1. Select an appropriate market research project. And this is how the assessment criteria was in your specification. There is no such description for this command verb, so we have to just work randomly on it. We have the points in the suggested evidence though, and in the indicative content. The question is asking, select an appropriate market research project. It means it's asking us to choose the right topic and research focus for a specific business need. That is the requirement. We need to work on pick a research project that solves a real problem or answers a business question, is realistic to carry out, time, budget, skill, like is it all okay pursuing it or not? Then we have is relevant to the organization goals and objectives, the most important thing. So the first thing is how to select an appropriate market research project. Step one, understand the business context. Look at what the business is trying to achieve. Like what is actually the goal of the business? And for that goal, what steps you need to take. For example, Virtu is thinking of selling more EV overseas or launching a new affordable small EV model. Ask that what does the business need to know before making the decision. They're only taking a decision, right? They're trying to take this decision, but they're not sure whether it's going to be successful or not. So for that purpose, we're doing the research. Step number two, identify the research problem. What is the issue on which we're going to work? This is the same criteria which is going to be followed by you people when you are going to do the research for task 3. Define the gap in information. That is, what is the bridge which is connecting, and right at the moment the gap is which is not connecting the bridge. For example, the company does not know if Saudi consumers are interested in small affordable EVs. That is why they targeted people from 25 to 45 age, middle-aged income, then even only in Riyadh and Jeddah. And they're asking consumers whether it's going to be a good thing or not. They don't know the main concern people have, that is the price, charging stations, and range. So for that, we need to do the research. Step number 3, match the problem with a research topic. That is, shows a specific and focused topic that would help the business make a decision. You need to be precise and concise at the same time. For example, consumer attitude towards affordable EVs in Saudi Arabia's urban market, because we're targeting the cities, the main hubs. Yeah, step number 4 then. Check the feasibility. How? Can you get enough data, primary or secondary? You need to be very clear about it. Whatever the topic you're working on, then the gap, the research gap, you need to see what sort of research we can conduct, whether a mixed or only primary or secondary. Do you have access to the target audience? Can you easily go and ask the questions or take the surveys? Do you have enough time to complete it? The timeline is important, the time frame. Step number 5 is align with organizational goals, the objectives of the organization, again, the topic. The research should support the business strategy or the objectives, and that is what the Virtu is trying to go ahead. They're not able to take the decision whether to go for the EVs in Saudi or not. For the Virtu, understanding if there's a demand in KSA before launching the smart hopper, the car, and the project. So, chosen market research project at the moment is evaluating the market potential for the Virtu's smart hopper electric vehicle in Saudi Arabia. This is the project on which they are trying to launch this. Why it is appropriate? First, relevant, tied directly to Virtu's goal of selling more overseas. Specific focuses on small affordable EVs in one country only and even 2 cities. Feasible data can be gathered via online surveys and government electric vehicle adoption statistics from the Mansha'at. Actionable results will guide the Virtu on whether to launch in KSA or not. So before launching anything in the market, you need to do proper research. Like if you want to even open a restaurant, you're going to conduct a research. Or if you're not going to do that, you don't have big aims and dreams in the mind that we need to convert our small cafeteria into a big restaurant, or we need to open so many branches all around the Saudi, then what will happen? You are going to lose and kick off the market. Then under the 3.1, we have part A, that is explain the reasons for selection. What is the reason you have chose the topic? Now we have to justify it. We have to explain it. It says why it chose that specific market research topic instead of something else. Why is this like this? What's the reason? First, relevant to the business problem. What was your issue? That is why you have taken this. practical to carry out because it's easy to gather their primary and secondary data. Valuable for decision making, it's easy to conduct the decision making once we get the results from the research. Then we have to link to the business objectives, the goals of the organization, that is, show how your chosen research helps the company research and reach its goals. Because it's like a step which we're taking, like a step fixed cost. Example, Virtu is looking to expand overseas and launch a new affordable electric vehicle. Researching consumer attitudes in Saudi Arabia will help determine whether there is enough demand for the smart hopper model or not. So, a research is mandatory again. Explain the potential benefits, the advantages. What will the company gain from this research? Why we are spending a lot? Because the research will reveal the purchase motivators and barriers. When you're doing a small research before conducting, like a patch test before conducting the big and launching up the market, who are going to be the loyal consumers? What is the feedback? If there is a change required, you can do it timely, helping the bidder to design effective pricing and marketing strategies. And in this way, we can adjust the criteria of our research and decision making accordingly. Reasons for selection, why we're doing this. First, the chosen market research topic is consumer attitude towards affordable electric vehicles in Saudi Arabia. This topic was selected because this is just a demonstration that how you're going to do it. Relevance to Virtu strategy, that is your organization, SME. Virtu plans to expand internationally and launch a small affordable electric vehicle model, the Smart Hopper. Saudi Arabia represents a promising market due to its growing interest in sustainable transport. So it's because of the 2030 vision. This is very true actually. They're trying to accommodate maximum of the things, and so many things have been already changed. And government EV incentives too. Market timing with the Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 aiming for 30% electric vehicles adoption in Riyadh by 2030. Understanding the consumer opinions now will allow Virtu to enter the market ahead of the competitors. Feasibility secondary data is readily available through government and industry reports, while primary data can be selected and collected via online surveys and interviews with the SMEs that use small commercial vehicles. So there is a stance actually for the secondary data, things are readily available in the industries, but for the primary, these things need to be done by you, the organization, and the people who have appointed with you. Actionable insights, the findings will help the Virtu tailor its marketing, pricing, and distribution strategies because alone, this topic cannot be go ahead. You have to work on the marketing strategies, the price ranges of the smart hookup, and the distributions, that is in which cities they are going to launch first. To match the Saudi consumer preferences, what actually the demand is by the consumers, you have to adjust accordingly, reducing the market entry risk. That is, you won't be easily penetrated in, so you won't be getting out soon too. It was lecture 9 today, and inshallah, tomorrow we are going to do lecture number 10. And yes, this is the template which I made for you people. When you're going to, inshallah, doing the task 3, the assignment brief, that is how we conduct a research proposal template. Like you can just add up things again. Title of the research, whatever you will be selecting, that background and introduction, like an abstract writing, you're going to give like a big paragraph of it. Then research aim, what the research aims about. You can even add the gap here as well. Research aim / the gap. That is, state the main purpose of your research, why you are doing it. Then research objectives. There are mainly 5. Over here, I've stated 4, but there are 5. Then comes research questions. They are almost 3 all the time. That is, the question which we ask from the title, that is why we're doing it now, that is the research questions. Scope of the research, explain what the research will cover and what it will not cover. The things which I have taught you and I'll be teaching in complete LO3, you are definitely going to cope up with all the template of this LO3. Then comes the justification part, which means explaining why this research is necessary and relevant. Methodology, we go for 2 methods and sometimes third one. That is primary, secondary, or the mixed one. That is the amalgamation of both the methods in research. Then expected outcomes, what you feel like would be the result, list what you expect to find from the research. Then proposed timeline, the time frame, which is really important. That is what in first week, what you will be doing, in second week, in third week, and fourth week. Like it's just a sample. For the first week, we can conduct the desk research, that is the primary research. Then we can work on the surveys distribution that collect the responses. And by finally fourth week, we can analyze the data. Now, this is the second template. That was the first template. Like I made whatever you feel like is easy for you, you can opt for. Like for the second template, we have title of the research, then research aim, then the objectives, only 3 or 5. It's an option, never 4. It's always the odd numbers. Then comes research methodology. In methodology, we work on the methods, the resources we require for it, the timeline, and the notes and the rest. That is the advantages and disadvantages, mostly. Then target market, describe who your research will focus on. That is age, location, basically demographics or the segmentation. In the category of segmentation, we have the geography, the locations, we have the genders, we have the age. Then the methods of data, whether it's going to be primary, secondary, then analysis of it, then expected deliverables. Like in the first demonstration of the market research, it was called analysis. Here it is expected deliverables, then the timeline overview, wherever you want to go for. So that is it. This is the just a template, a small summary. Market research proposal template, title of the research, you already know we worked on this in the lecture slide 9. Consumer perceptions and the target market potential for the small affordable EVs in Saudi Arabia. This would be the background, an example, then research aim, objectives. Yes, definitely, you people want to be receiving it soon. Yep, thank you so much, both of you. Take care of yourself. Inshallah, we will be having a virtual meeting again tomorrow.